If you're thinking of starting Fiverr in 2025, please watch this video before you start. I have seen personally success and failure in Fiverr. I'm just going to go through these quickly to share with you what you need to expect before you get started. So realistically, I started Fiverr like 4, 5, maybe. Actually, no, I started Fiverr like 6 years ago. Through that time, Fiverr's changed a lot. I am a 5-star rated seller on Fiverr, but I don't really get orders anymore. And there was a period of time where I was getting a lot of orders and I didn't take advantage of that period of time and kind of got lazy with it because I expected it to come back, which it did not because I didn't follow these steps really. These are like 8 things about the Fiverr platform that if you don't do these correctly, they are a lot less likely to promote your gig. So the very first thing is create really great thumbnails. So what I mean by thumbnails is you want to have good catchy titles, you want to pick colors that are in a similar color scheme as other people in your general field. And you want to have a picture of your face because Fiverr is less likely to promote accounts that do not have a human face behind them. Even if you're doing something that's technical, usually they're likely to promote people that have a more human touch and feel to their accounts. 2 is maximize your description. This is where you're going to get the best SEO. Fiverr is going to know exactly what your gig is about and they're going to know exactly where to promote it and who to promote it to. You want to take advantage of this spot as much as possible while not making it just like a bunch of word blurbs, but make it really, really good and descriptive and exactly what you're selling. 3 is learn about SEO. If you have to watch YouTube videos, if you have to download some kind of software to learn about SEO, you can also get a subscription to Fiverr's Seller Plus program, which will have some recommendations as to what is trending, but that typically doesn't work unless you already have gigs uploaded, and they can kind of give you a recommendation on how to change it better. But SEO is so important. If Fiverr doesn't have enough information to publish your gig on the front page, then you have to rely on people being able to search for your service. If people aren't able to search your service easily, Fiverr again is not going to promote it because it doesn't make sense to anybody and it's just going to get swept under the rug. 4 is study other profiles that are in your similar field. You want to study how their titles are written, how their thumbnails are set up, how their descriptions are set up, what their pricing is, if their service is similar to yours or different than yours. And if it's different than yours and you're seeing success for them, maybe that's something that you should be offering or changing in your own. And I'm not saying copy somebody's stuff word for word because that's not cool. You need to be creating your own stuff. Keep those things in mind because if somebody else is finding success, that means they're doing something right and Fiverr is promoting that. 5 is log on your computer and your phone on the Fiverr account daily. So the Fiverr app and on your desktop if you have one. This is really important. This one is not like talked about enough. I've heard it mentioned a couple of times, but I think it's more considered a theory than anything else, but I've proven it myself. But when Fiverr realized that I wasn't logging in every day, they stopped promoting it. So I would get on Fiverr after a couple of weeks or a month and I would see that my views on just my views, not my clicks or anything like that, had already dropped significantly. I would get like 0 in weeks. But the minute I started logging in, they were promoting it and it would go up to like 10, 15, 20 views. Number 6 is respond as quickly as possible. This one I have failed at time and time again. I am not as disciplined of an artist as I should be. I sell music and lyrics on Fiverr. It is difficult for me to do that customer service end where it's like, oh, I'm about to go to bed or I wake up and I see that somebody's messaged on Fiverr. I'm like, okay, I'll just get to it later. Do not do that. If you can get to it the minute somebody responds, you should. Fiverr is going to promote you like crazy and it is extremely important. Your response rate is extremely important to whether or not Fiverr is going to promote you. So if you are the kind of person that is not disciplined in that area, you're gonna have to really work to make these other things like perfect. 7 is use Fiverr suggested formatting. So if you go to Fiverr and you're filling out your description and your gig, they have these little hints and tips on how to word things, how to set them up, and actual formatting, like to scale formatting. So when you're creating your template or your thumbnail, you want to see what Fiverr's scales are and then you want to adjust your thumbnail to match that scale, because if you don't, Fiverr is really bad about, they will not adjust it properly. They'll just stretch it out or squish it and make it look very bad and low quality. Same thing with audio. If you're doing like musician work, you're gonna need to take it down to like an MP3 file, but you want to try to make it sound as good as possible, because if you're not following their formatting, it's going to look and sound terrible. And again, if something looks and sounds terrible, they're not going to promote it. My final tip, number 8, and this one is another one that is extremely important and one that I don't follow, and it's one of the reasons that I have had so much failure on Fiverr. I am constantly learning on how to better my Fiverr account. And in the 6 years that I've had Fiverr, I've had a ton of gigs, and I've deleted them and re-uploaded them and changed them and tried to make them better. Fiverr hates that. Fiverr wants consistency. So once you have 1 through 7 perfect, do not upload until you are 1000% sure that you are comfortable with your pricing, the way that it looks, the way that it's organized, the way everything's written, and you feel like you have it as top tier as possible. Do not change it for at least a month. If you change it, it takes like 3 to 4 weeks for your gig to even saturate the search engine. You are not going to show up. If you're changing it every week or every 2 weeks, you will not show up. It takes 3 to 4 weeks for it to actually even show up for people. If you're changing it, Fiverr will just stop promoting you. Imagine you are getting like a ton of orders and you change it, they're going to stop promoting you and you're not going to get those orders anymore. And you're going to end up being screwed because this consistency that you had before is completely gone. I know this was quick. It wasn't too in depth, but I just want to make sure that you guys know these 8 things, because I hate watching these super long videos that are describing these things and it never feels like they're actually getting to the point. But these are 8 things that are extremely important to the Fiverr platform and are going to either cause your success or your failure if they're done incorrectly. So I want to see you guys succeed in 2025. I want to see myself succeed in 2025. Take these tips, build your Fiverr account, find success, and let me know what you guys think. If you're finding success with these tips, please let me know, because that would just like make my whole day. I appreciate your time. I'm really grateful for you being here. So thank you so much, and subscribe, check out my other videos, and I will see you guys later.